Well, I have been in real estate for a little bit more than 20 years now. I was originally licensed in 2000 selling real estate in Wisconsin, and I've taken a few twists and turns, but all within the real estate industry. So I did go from real estate sales in Wisconsin to opening a brokerage. I then moved to Arizona and joined Realty Executives International, where I was more on the franchising and franchise support side of things. Went through a few other twists and turns thanks to the global financial crisis when a lot of us found ourselves reinventing ourselves.
Mm.
Most recently, have spent the last 11 to 12 years in corporate housing, which is just short-term,
Mm.
fully furnished property management with a little bit more of a narrow target in terms of your renter base.
Okay, so what took you from just kind of regular real estate and then all of a sudden becoming somebody who's dealing with the franchise aspect? Because that seems like a whole different like left turn driving down the street. Oh, I'm gonna take this exit. That like you kind of step away from the everyday chaos and now you're like in the franchise world. That to me was
Yeah.
super interesting as well. So how did that happen? How did you transition into that of all things?
So I needed health insurance. To
Oh,
be
Ah,
honest,
there
this
you
was
go.
there's an unfortunate number of things that have occurred in my life due to the fact that I need health insurance.
Okay.
But I moved to Arizona from Wisconsin. Admittedly, I just really got over it with the cloud cover and
Mm.
the dark winters. And so my first husband and I moved to Arizona. And when I came out here, I had had a corporate background before getting into real estate, and
Yeah.
so I started, looking for some different types of jobs. I got brought on as a temp worker and then just sort of worked myself into the side of the business that
Wow.
really enjoyed, which was franchise support. Honestly, if there had not been big changes with that company, I'd still be there. It was a great role for me. I
oh, okay.
really loved it.
Yeah.
It hit a lot of the boxes, but at the time that I transitioned out of there, also 70% of the management team was let go in a 3-month. It was a pretty
Mm.
abrupt
Wow.
transition. So a lot of us were and not just realty executives. I mean, this was 2010, 2011.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the upper limit of companies stomaching whatever they could stomach from the global financial crisis. So there were a lot of sort of a lot of people on the street, so to speak.
Hmm.
And then
Right.
I did actually go with another real estate brand out of Australia called Professionals that was looking to launch in the US. And that only lasted a few years. I think they were a little early to the party, so to speak, and just kind of
Yeah.
couldn't get the traction and decided to pull back out again. So then my
Gotcha.
attitude was, I'm gonna start my own business because at least if that one declares bankruptcy, I'll see it coming.
Can you talk to us a little? I'm super interested in like this where you were before this as property manager and just with the corporation. What was your like day to day like job description? Like what were you doing? Like as far as like were you were they giving you the people that you needed to place, or you had to do that yourself? I mean, can you just explain a little bit of the day to day for that job?
Yeah, absolutely. So a big part of why I enjoyed it so much is every day did look different. It was not a 9 to 5 kind of job. It had more of a 9 to 5 aspect than traditional real estate, but it was, you were still handling things as they needed to be handled, and there was quite a lot of variation in that. But really the core mission or drive of that. And I wound up going and acquiring a franchise with a company called Avenue West, which did it in other parts of the country
Mm.
because I knew getting into it, I didn't know corporate housing. I didn't know the business.
Mm.
I didn't have the systems. I certainly could have learned how to do it, but I believe going with a franchise system has probably cut the learning curve by a good 5 years.